5,502. Again, 5,502 people overdosed on an opioid in 2020. Siblings, cousins, friends, 5,502 loved ones died from an opioid in California in 1 year. Of those, nearly 4,000 people died from fentanyl specifically. That is 71% of all overdose deaths in California caused by one drug. It is powerful, it is cheap, and it's deadly.
Now, there's a fentanyl crisis in California, and there's two parts to this: people who are taking the drug and those who didn't know that the pill they took was laced with fentanyl. Brian Heap joining us right now with a snapshot of that problem.
Yeah, this is a crisis that's been hitting home in communities across California. You just shared those staggering numbers from 2020. 3,946 people died from fentanyl in 2020. And in some of those cases, the people who were killed didn't know they were taking fentanyl. This graph shows you the rate of fentanyl-related deaths. In California overall, there are 9 fentanyl-related deaths per 100,000 people. Nevada County's rate is double that, and the highest rate is San Francisco County, where 43 people are killed by fentanyl per 100,000. It's a crisis that the San Francisco Chronicle has been following for years. Trisha Thadani is live now with us. So, Trisha, I know you spent weeks talking with people whose lives have been impacted by fentanyl and who are now addicted to this powerful narcotic. What did you learn during your reporting that you didn't know going in?
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I mean, at the end of the day, what I learned was something I already had kind of an idea about, but it was really stark to see how much easier it is to be a drug addict in San Francisco than it is to get help. There was one man who I followed throughout the story named Anthony, who, when he decided to go into treatment one day, he was turned away within 30 seconds, but then in the next 10 minutes, he was smoking fentanyl in the Tenderloin.
Yeah, you talked about Anthony. I read your story, and Anthony said he's so badly addicted that fentanyl is the only thing that helps to keep him feel normal, or whatever his definition of normal is. Did you hear that kind of story from a number of people?
Yeah, the thing about people who have a tolerance for fentanyl, at least the ones who I talked to, it doesn't give you this sort of euphoric high that you would think in a lot of instances. So for someone like Anthony, it kind of lifts him back to sort of this baseline where it just kind of helps him function. I mean, a lot of the time that I was with Anthony and my partner on this project, Stephen Lamb, and I spent a lot of time with him. And he was usually on fentanyl, and I would have never known if I didn't know the context under which we were meeting.
Trisha, you had another amazing story in there about a mom who basically puts together care packages for her son, goes out and tries to find him because sometimes she doesn't know where he is because of his drug addiction.
Right, yeah. So the other woman that we followed in this story was this mother named Kelly Stanfill. And we really thought it was important to show that side of the epidemic also, because it's very easy to forget how many loved ones are also wrapped up on this. And Kelly is a very impressive person, and she's a really good mom who wants nothing but to help her kid. But she understands that she can't force him into care, which is a really important thing to know about addiction, that unless someone is ready, you really can't force them into getting the help. At least that's how Kelly feels about it. So she's just there to support him until he's ready.
Trisha, in about 30 seconds, tell me the most important thing that you want people to get out of reading your story and you want people to know about the crisis.
That these people matter. At the end of the day, that's what I wanted to get across. Anthony and Morgan are people who don't want to be like this. And when you pass them on the street, just know that there are loved ones who care about them, and they're trying. They're trying, and the city is not always helping them.
Okay. Trisha Thadani, thank you so much for your report. Very interesting talking to you. I appreciate it. It was great to read.